kind of sauce would you like?
How's it going, Hot Sauce fans? My name is Jeremy Blanchard and this is Hot Sauce Fan. Thank you for coming and watching and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Today I'm going to be doing Joey's Hot Sauce, Lisa the Truffle Queen. And I did a little blurb on this on the show Too Hot to Handle by Grit Your Teeth 20. And I felt like that it deserves a review of its own, mostly because it's the only organic truffle sauce that I've ever come across. Not to say that there's not any others out there, but I have the Truffle, which I haven't done a review on yet. This is black truffle infused, and apparently these have way better ingredients. So I tried this like a couple months ago. I don't remember what it tastes like. I didn't get the overall impression that it was that great, but to each their own. So Joey's Hot Sauce, and maybe I'll do a versus. Tell me in the comments if you think you'd like me to do a versus, because I'm interested to see how they stack up against each other, but I really want to focus on this one for this video because I feel like it deserves its own review. So Lisa the Truffle Queen, it's hot sauce. It's a 3 out of 5. I don't know if you can see that, but I will put an image up in the top of the screen so that you can see the label and also the ingredients. I won't read the ingredients, but basically it has organic sweet peppers, organic habanero peppers, poblano peppers, everything's organic. So there's a bunch of different peppers in here, and of course truffle, wild Oregon truffle. This says, hi, I'm Joey. I made this hot sauce for the love of my life, Lisa. She didn't want sugar, preservatives, or BS that you find in a lot of products out there. So I will put another image up here so that you can read the rest of it. I'm not going to read it all. So there's no preservatives, no sugar, no BS, batch 61, keto friendly. So I'm just going to get into it. I remember liking this. It's not something that I would normally gravitate to. I have had it on food, which I found out, or I realized that I probably should be eating this with food because that's what it's meant for. It's meant to put on food. So I put this on some hamburger or something like that. I can't remember exactly what I put it on, but it definitely is different. It's just a different flavor, a different kind of hot sauce that you wouldn't normally choose. So if you're looking for something different and you don't want a traditional hot sauce, but you want something with just a hint of spice, and not like blazing your food with something super hot, this might be something interesting to put on your food and give it a different zing. So let's get into it. Put my spoon out here. If you don't know about mother of pearl spoons, you can watch any of my other videos. I talk about it all the time. In fact, I talk about it so much I actually cut it out in some of my videos. So go watch some of my other videos, and you can see the whole story about it. Basically, it's from Johnny Scoble on Chase the Heat, and yeah, so that's basically. It's basically don't taint your sauce. When I'm doing a tasting like this, I don't really want anything in my sauce other than the sauce. So this doesn't allow that to happen. Okay, so I'm going to open it. It's been a while since I've had this. Probably a couple weeks, I think. So. I assume, well, I can smell jalapenos in there, and it definitely has jalapenos. All the different peppers in there are just, it's a wild blend of different peppers. So, I don't know if Truffle has not the chocolate kind, obviously, the fungus kind. I think it's a fungus. Uh, Basically, I can't remember where it grows, but I think it grows like under the roots of trees and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to find some truffles, just plain truffles, just to see what they actually taste like, because it's hard to know if the truffle's good. I assume with Joey's hot sauce though that it's gonna be a good product, because the other one that I did, which was this one, the Hella Razor, it was really really good. It's probably the highest score I've ever given on a hot sauce. So um, this being a very unique flavor and very unique product, truffle is very like hit or miss. And from what I've gathered, is people either love it or hate it. Uh, I guess I'm kind of on the love it side. It's one of those kinds that I probably won't use on too many things. That being said, if you know what you would eat this with, give a shout out below. Tell me below in the comments what you would normally eat this on, and then I'll try it. I I had it on hamburger, I think, and it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't something that I immediately thought, ugh. So I'm gonna pour it in. It's not as thick as the Hella Razor. It is thick though. It's a. Let's put this cap back on and see if we can. Yeah, it's a medium thickness. It coats the bottle really nice. It clings to the bottle like a porter. Okay. This is going to be, if I remember correctly, this isn't extremely hot, so it's bottled necked here. There we go. Got a good helping here. I think it's very important to mention. One of the other videos I did was ghost pepper versus ghost pepper versus ghost pepper, and that was 3 different ghost pepper products that I tried, and one of them was Arthur Wayne's Huckleberry. And trying it alone, I wasn't really that thrilled with it. It was okay, but it just wasn't for me. And then I tried it on pancakes, and oh my god, it was like the best ever. It was amazing with food. So and again, these hot sauces are really meant for food. So it's kind of a strange. I realize that it's kind of a strange thing to just taste test them on their own and not with its intended purpose. Um, that being said, I really want to continue doing taste testings without the food, but I want to have it with food beforehand. So you're probably not going to see me open a bottle. Um, in the future, you're not going to see me open another bottle unless I just don't have time or something like that. But in general, I'd like to eat them with food to get my overall taste or feel for the actual product. That being said, let's just get into it. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. It's very salty, or it tastes very salty, and I don't know if the truff is very salty. It's only got 95 milligrams of salt, but it tastes very salty to me. It does have Himalayan salt in it, which is, I love Himalayan salt. The heat is just the right amount of heat. It's not overwhelming, not overbearing. However, if you are new to hot sauces and you're trying out lower heat hot sauces, it might give you a good burn. Um, for me, it's probably out of 10, it's probably a 1.5 to 2. It's not really that hot for me anyway. Maybe for someone who isn't a chili head, it may be a 4 or 5 out of 10. Um, But again, I've said this before, you know, it really depends on the person. Some people just cannot handle hot sauce or hot stuff in general, and they think that black pepper is super hot. So I do know someone personally that actually does not like eating black pepper because they think it's too spicy. Um, so that being said, if you're not used to hot sauce, it gives a good kind of a good tingle in the back of the throat, at least for me. And the taste is somewhat salty, and you know I can definitely taste the peppers in it. And again, I'm gonna have to try a truffle on its own. I don't even know if you can do that if it's something that people eat on your own. I haven't done that kind of research, so um, yeah. Let me know where I can get some truffle, and I'm gonna try it. It's organic wild Oregon truffle. So maybe I'll try to get some wild Oregon truffles to try out on its own. Overall, it's a pretty good sauce. I do like it, and that's my honest opinion, my honest overall impression of it. It's kind of a soury. I don't think sour is the right word, but it's definitely more on the bitter scale than some of the sweeter sauces that I've had. It's a very unique flavor. It's hard to describe. Like what I imagine it being on like a steak, mashed potatoes, and that kind of stuff. It says here that most truffle products have zero real truffles in them. They use a chemical called 2,4-diethyl diethium dithium. I can't. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I can't read it. Pronounce it. Which gives a truffle flavor. WTH. We put 10 grams of real wild truffles in every bottle of this luxury sauce. When Lisa tried it, she said she wanted no other hot sauce on earth. And Jamie, who was helping me make batches, said, "Why don't you call it Lisa the Truffle Queen?" And we never looked back. So you can get this at www.thedubs.joeyhotsauce.com, and they're on Instagram at Joey's Hot Sauce. They're in Grants Pass. All right, so let's get into the actual reviewing of the product. Let's see, there's heat, there's flavor. Two most important things for me. Ingredients. It's hard to say like what actually is the most important thing. Obviously, ingredients are a huge factor in a hot sauce because if you don't have good ingredients, then it might make it taste horrible. And also, thinking about what you put in your body and that kind of stuff. If you eat something laced with chemicals, it might affect your mood and that kind of thing. So ingredients are a very important factor in hot sauce. But along with that, I guess they all kind of work in tandem, right? So ingredients, flavor, and heat really work in tandem together to create a hot sauce. And I'm sure Joey puts a ton of effort into creating the perfect sauce. So see, heat, flavor, ingredients, label. I like to, like I've said before, I like to measure the entire thing so that it's not just heat, flavor, and ingredients. It's the label, how it's put together, the consistency. Is it like in this one here? I would have put this in a wide mouth bottle as opposed to, and no flow restrictor, which this is not neither. Well, this is a regular bottle and it had a flow restrictor on it, which kind of didn't really make a lot of sense to me, so it lost a little points for me on that aspect. So that being said, this one's much better. No flow restrictor, and I don't know if it came with one when the first time I opened it. It's very possible that it did, but I don't remember if it did or not. But the thickness, even if it did have a flow restrictor on it, it might get through the flow restrictor. I would take it off, to be honest. If there is one on your bottle, take it off. You don't really need it. Especially, I just want to get to the sauce. And the bottle size is perfect. Nothing wrong with that. And then the last one is consistency or thickness. Okay, so we're going to go with heat. So the heat for me is very low. Like I said, I think I said 1.5 to 2 out of 10. So I'm going to give it probably a 0.25 out of 2 on my scale. So I go 0 to 2 on heat, flavor, ingredients, label, and consistency, all combined to equal no more than 10. So heat, 0.25. It's not really that hot. Flavor, and I've thought about this as well as like, should I really dock for heat? Because some people don't like. This really isn't meant to be a heat hot sauce, so it may be that it's hard for me to evaluate heat in a 1 to 10 or 0 to 2 or out of 10 because I don't necessarily want to dock heat for a sauce that's not supposed to be a heat sauce, a hot sauce. It is hot, but it's not overwhelmingly burnt. So if I were to go on my scale, for example, Pepper Company's Reaper Squeezins would probably be, a 6 or 7 on my scale, and it would probably get higher scores on the heat and on the heat side because of that. But maybe the flavor isn't as good as, let's say, the Joey's Hot Sauce Hellraiser flavor. So, and I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just saying that you get the idea, right? So, I'm tinkering around with different ideas on how to adjust this so that you don't get docked for heat, which is, I've got to figure out still. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments below. I'm happy to incorporate any ideas that anybody has about how to include heat in the scale. Maybe I just take heat out of the scale and bump up all the other categories. I don't know. But heat is an important factor for me because I love super hots. I love the super hot sauce. I love the burn of it. I love everything about it. So, but I totally get and understand that this is not meant to burn your mouth. This is meant to have a blend of consistency between the different variables of the hot sauce. So as it stands right now, I don't have a solution for that. So heat, I could just say, because it's a really well blended and it's perfect as the heat for that, I could just say, because it's such a perfect blend, I could just say 0 out of 2, it's a 2, but with a caveat that it's not, that doesn't mean that it's hot, that it just means that it's perfectly blended. So that may be what I do, I don't know. Right now, I haven't made that decision, so right now I'm just going to give it a 0.25. Flavor. The flavor is pretty good. It's very unique, very sort of bitter, which is very different from a lot of the other hot sauces. A lot of hot sauces try to add sweetness to it. So if you're looking for something that's not going to be sweet and a little more on the bitter side, you may give this a try. I mean, you may like, if you don't like sweet hot sauces, this is perfect. You're going to really enjoy this. So I would say flavor between 0 and it's very flavorful. It made my mouth water when I first smelled it. Between 0 and 2, I'm going to give it a 2. It's really, really good. Ingredients. Everything is organic in the ingredients, so I'm gonna say, and it's got habaneros. I love habaneros. I'm not sure that I've had organic or any poblano peppers, so I can't really talk to the taste of that. But everything blended is blended well together. It works. It just works. So between 0 and 2, I'm going to give that one a 2. Label, again, I'm going to give that a 2 because that's what I gave this one here. I really love the label. This one's just a hair different. It's got a beige look to it as opposed to the yellow. But it's the same overall scenario. I guess the only thing that I'm looking at the label here is it's less catchy. This one's a little bit more catchy. It catches the eye better with the yellow, the bright yellow, and the red, and all those colors work well together. This one works well together, but not quite as well. It's not quite as good as this label here. But it's to the eye of the beholder, I think, the label. But I'm going to give it a 2. So consistency. I think the consistency is perfect. I mean, it's not too runny. It's not too thick. It's in a bottle that has no flow restrictor on it that I remember. And you don't need a wide mouth. Everything's perfect about it. The seeds in it, or you can see the seeds and flecks, and well, I don't. Yeah, you can see seeds and flecks and all that kind of stuff. So again, that's a 2. That's a 2. So for a truffle sauce, I hope. I mean, I'm going to try this one and do a review on it. But I think what I'm going to do, I'll do a review on that, and then I'm going to do another review, not a review, but a comparison between this, and see which one I like the best. Obviously, going into it, I've always been sort of into the organic mode of things, so I really enjoy the fact that it's all organic. Everything is pure ingredients. There's no chemicals in the fruits of what's been put in there, and so this has got to be hands down the best for ingredients. Is it the best for taste? I don't know. I can't remember what this tastes like because it's been so long. So consistency is 2. So if I add those together, 2, 4, 6, 8.25. 8.25. Hey, same score as this one. So 8.25, that's what I've got for this sauce. And, I enjoy this. Again, if you're not a big truffle fan, you may avoid it, but you might give it a try. It may be something, maybe you had some truffle sauce truffle sauce. I don't mean to say truff sauce. I'm not trying to bash on truff at all. But it may be that, you've tried some truffle sauce like Joey says here, that they put in that ingredient, the chemical, that gives a truffle flavor. And it may be that truffle flavor just isn't great. And so if you want to try a tried and true truffle sauce, this is the sauce to try. That being said, I haven't had any other truffle sauces, so take that with a grain of salt. Alright, so that's my review for today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified every time I upload a video. And thank you for watching. I love you guys, and go get your sauce on.
What kind of sauce would you like?